Hey first graders, it is Thursday and we're going to start off our Thursday meeting with reviewing our amazing words and adding a couple more. So hopefully you've got these down pretty good by now. The first one is predicament. I want you to think about what that means. It means that you're in a bad situation, okay? The next word is intend. That's when you plan to do something, you intend to do something. You might intend to make dinner with your dad tonight, okay? So then you are planning to do that. The word clever means that you have a quick mind and you can come up with solutions to problems. Like if you have a kite stuck in a tree, you can come up with a way to get it down when maybe it seems hard. And then we have the word grumpy. Grumpy is when you're in a bad mood. Maybe you're too tired or something. Maybe you're feeling exhausted. And so that's when you're very, very tired. Usually at the end of a long day, people might feel exhausted. The next word, this is a new word, and it's batter. Batter is a mixture of flour and liquid that becomes solid when you cook it. Usually I think of pancake batter when I am thinking of batter, like you mix up some flour and eggs and sugar and milk and oil, and then you pour the batter onto the griddle, which is our last amazing word for this week. This is a griddle, so you might pour the pancake batter on here when it's nice and hot, and then you can flip it and make pancakes, okay? So that's a griddle. All right. Last week you had some suffixes on the ends of your words. A suffix is an ending to a base word. So like the suffix ly, the base word is glad. If we add ly to it, then we have the word gladly. Bad is a base word, but we can add a suffix to it, the suffix ly, and we then have the word badly. We can also do that with like the word great. Great is the base word, and we can add ly to it, and then the word becomes greatly. Sad is the base word, and we can add ly to it, and the word becomes sadly. So ly is a suffix, so when you're reading along and you see an ly on there, just think it says ly. It doesn't say y, it just says ly. So greatly, sadly, gladly, and badly. Another suffix that was in some of your words was the ful suffix. So like if you have the word power, and you can put an ful on it, and it means, and it's powerful. So when you see the suffix ful, it means that it's full of that. So I know you guys aren't here to help me with this, but I'm just going to show you. So this word, this says full of peace. I want you to think about what word you could, if you could add ful on the end of this, of the word peace, you would have peaceful. Full of peace is peaceful. Full of rest. Can you think of what word I'm going to put there? Full of rest. It's going to be restful. Full of power is going to be powerful. And full of color is going to be colorful. So whenever you see this ful on the end of the word, that suffix ful, it means that this base word is full, means it's full of this base word. So full of peace, full of rest, full of power, and full of color. So you probably see those words as you are reading. The other thing I want to review with you is the vowel combination OO. And I know Mrs. E put together a bunch of hunk and chunk songs for you, and I'll bet you OO is one of them. But just remember that, so you might want to go back and look at that video. I know she posted it on our first grade reading page. So But OO says ooh. So there's words like moon and food. So we'd have a food. Spoon. Spoon. And soon. Soon. Okay, that's what some different things you can do with the OO. Okay, in your workbook today on page 520, you're going to learn about imperative sentences. An imperative sentence is just telling somebody to do something. So it's not a question. You're not asking anybody anything. You're not just stating a fact, but you're actually telling somebody to do something. So I want you to look at this book. If you want to pause the video and hurry and grab your reader and writer's notebook and turn to page 520, we've got 6 different problems I want you to do. So number 1 says, look in the newspaper. Think about, is somebody telling somebody to do something? Saying, look in the newspaper. Or will you look in the newspaper? That's a question, so we know that's not an imperative sentence. Ben looks in the newspaper. That's just stating something. That's just telling somebody that Ben is looking in the newspaper. The imperative sentence that's actually saying you need to do something is look in the newspaper. That's like me saying to you, you go look in the newspaper. Let's look at number 2. Meg will find the answer. Is she telling, are we learning something? Is somebody, or not learning, but is someone telling somebody else to do something? No, they're just telling us that what's going to happen. Meg's going to find an answer. How about this? Find the answer. That's somebody telling you to do something. It's kind of a command. Find the answer. So that is your imperative sentence. Did she find the answer? That's a question. So imperative sentences are commands. They're never going to be those questions. So you can always know that that's not the right answer. Cam left the key here. That's just telling us something that happened. It's not commanding us to do anything. Where is the key? A question. So that's not an imperative sentence. Please find the key. That's kind of a command. Just think about if your parents were telling you to do something, which one of those sentences would they tell you to do something? That would be this one here. Please find the key. Will the glue hold the pieces together? Question. So we know that's not an imperative sentence. I will glue the pieces together. That's just stating something that's happening. Glue the pieces together. That's the imperative sentence. It's somebody's getting commanded. So I want you to do number 5 and do the whole thing, but with 5 and 6, I want you to ask yourself the question, is this a command? Is somebody kind of saying, in a way you could kind of use a voice of command, like which one fits, like glue the pieces together. Maybe somebody's frustrated or something. I don't know. Maybe that will help you figure out which one is the imperative sentence. But pay attention on that one and be kind of careful with it, that you really think about which sentence is a command or somebody telling somebody else to do something. The other thing you're going to do is on page 519, it has spelling words. They're all up here, but they're all mixed up. So we know that it's just a clue to help you figure out which one is how to unscramble the word, is all of our words this week have OW. So you make sure you put OW together in that order, O and W, and try and figure out the rest of the words. But the answers are right up here. You just have to figure out which it is and then find the missing words down here. Okay? So that's your assignment for that. I also want you to get your Decodable Reader book and go to page 161. And this one has the LE words in it. Don't stumble. It also has OW words and OU words. So remember, OU and OW both say ow, and LE says ul at the end of the word. So read that story. Read it a couple times. Make sure you're reading it fluently. And the very last thing is In this book right here, page 20, I want you to reread the story, Tippy Toe Chick Go. Now, I'm going to also attach the link so that you can watch it on YouTube. So you can either watch it and read along with it, or you can just read it on your own. Okay? That's all for today. Have an awesome afternoon.